Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. On today's lengthy episode, we are going to break down all of the matches of Demetrious Johnson, aka Mighty Mouse, who is probably, in my opinion, the pound-for-pound best UFC fighter to ever do it. He competed at IBJJF Masters Worlds at the Masters 2 brown belt featherweight division, and we're going to break down his matches now. So before we begin, I just want to say that I'm not going to break down every single facet of the movements that he's doing. I'm going to do some overarching themes of things that he did well, things that I would try to capitalize if I were to go against him, and things that his opponents weren't doing very well from their guard pulling perspectives. So with all that out of the way, let's get into these breakdowns. So here on the first match, Mighty Mouse's opponent is going to pull into a butterfly half guard position, and Mighty Mouse is immediately going to get chest to chest, backstep his left leg out, and start blitzing the guard, putting his opponent on the defensive. So let's talk a little bit about Mighty Mouse's anatomy. He's about 5'3" or 5'4", and he's got short legs, so he's going to be able to move side to side very, very quickly and kind of hem up all of these people that he's going to be going against that are taller than him and really put them on the defensive when they're playing their guard position. So as you can see here, his opponent is trying to get into a butterfly position. He's not able to do so, and Mighty Mouse here is just going to be able to kind of smash the legs together, kind of sprawl his body weight out, and just blitz the opponent's guard here, left and right, up and down movement. Really, the opponent really had no answer for this quick movement, and that's just a testament to Mighty Mouse, his endurance, his stamina. Obviously, he's a UFC veteran, one of the best to ever do it, so his endurance coming from that sport into this one is probably 10 times higher, because this sport, in my opinion, isn't as stressful or as hard as doing a UFC match and also being one of the best in the UFC. So here he's able to take the back. One thing that he's doing here wrong is crossing his legs. If his opponent would take his right leg over the top of Mighty Mouse's legs, he could probably get an ankle lock here, but that probably wouldn't submit someone like Mighty Mouse. And you can just see how Mighty Mouse is able to just flow through these positions, getting knee on belly, passing the guard left and right. Very quick movements. He's fast in the transition and then slow in the position, and he's able to really just off balance his opponent and not give his opponent any type of ability to go for any type of guard. Here we go with his armbar position. His opponent's able to get out, but Mighty Mouse immediately comes up on top and doesn't give his opponent any time to breathe. So the ref is going to start them standing up once again, and Mighty Mouse here is just going to be able to kind of just manhandle his opponent, and his opponent tries to take him down, but Mighty Mouse spins to the back just so effortlessly that his opponent really has no time to react. As Mighty Mouse starts to attack the arm, he's going to come up, and that's going to be the end of the first match. So here we go with the second match. Mighty Mouse's opponent pulls a much more convincing guard position and ends up in a lasso, but Mighty Mouse is just going to kind of blitz him and take his right hand around the head and his left hand around the leg and get him into this cradle position. Now this is a position that I absolutely love, especially in nogi, because it keeps your opponent in a defensive posture and you can kind of spiral ride them down and keep them from attacking. So as you can see here, Mighty Mouse is still controlling that position, but his opponent is able to get a more traditional type of lasso, and obviously his opponent is a little bit taller than him as well, so that's why his legs are kind of on the back of Mighty Mouse. But Mighty Mouse here is just going to be able to just kind of balance. And if you're noticing Mighty Mouse's grips, he's not playing a very grip dependent game, and I think that's just an outgrowth of the fact that he's been in MMA for so long and no-gi for so long that he doesn't really have a very good gi gripping game down, especially on the ground. So here his opponent is trying to figure out what he wants to do with Mighty Mouse, and I think honestly this is the time where I would be pulling out the lapel, because somebody who's as fast and quick as Mighty Mouse, just passing, blitzing the guard, you want to slow that type of person down. As you can see here, his opponent tried to play an open guard position, and Mighty Mouse just immediately starts going past the legs and pulling the leg down for a single leg, and is just blitzing the guard just left and right, and his opponent really can't establish any grips or establish a foothold to slow Mighty Mouse down. So I think when he was standing there, that would be an excellent time to open up those lapels and try to play a worm lapel guard, because for this type of speed, you really need to slow that type of person down, especially if you're in the Masters 2, which is 35 to 40. You're not going to be moving as fast as an adult, so you really need to slow down your opponent. Right here, you can see that his opponent kind of has a lasso-ish position and is still trying to slow down Mighty Mouse, but he's just going to be able just to blitz his way through and win his second match. So here we're on the third match, and Mighty Mouse's opponent is going to grab his collar with his left hand, and I think he should be opening up those lapels so we can use them at a later time in the match, because you're going to need those lapels to slow down somebody as quick and and explosive as Mighty Mouse. So right here, his opponent pulls into a closed guard position, and now we're going to get to see that he's actually able to break down the posture of Mighty Mouse in the closed guard and use a lapel to do so. And that's something you should be doing if you're much taller than your opponent. Pulling into a closed guard position and utilizing those lapels is a good way to start throwing up triangles and try to finish the match right away. Mighty Mouse is able to alleviate that and get into the side-to-side passing position, passing here and scoring his 3 points. And another thing that Mighty Mouse is doing that's really dynamic is he's sprawling his legs out, and that prevents his opponent from grabbing hooks. And then he's also spinning on his opponent's hip left and right, and that's how he's able to kind of glide around the guard using his speed and using that fulcrum of the person's hip to spin left and right and pass side to side very, very dynamically. So now Mighty Mouse's opponent is trying to go for a choke from the bottom, which isn't a bad idea when someone's passing your guard into side control. We've seen a ton of people get submitted that way, but that's not going to work on the likes of Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse is now going to grab the collar, and now he's going to pop up his left knee into a knee on belly position, try to transfer over into mount, not able to do so, and sprawl his legs out, stopping his opponent from recovering the guard. Now when Mighty Mouse passes, his opponent tries to defend with his right hand, and Mighty Mouse is going to get that classic Mighty Mouse armbar that we've seen so many times in the UFC for the finish. So we're going to rewind that one more time and get a slow motion. You can see his opponent tries to defend. Mighty Mouse is going to pop up, extend, full extension on that armbar right there, get the tap for the win. In Mighty Mouse's fourth match, his opponent here is going to try to encroach on his space and try to pull into a open guard position here. He sits to his butt and tries to pull into a half guard, but Mighty Mouse completely intercepts it, and now he's starting to pass utilizing the belt control here. So he passes to his right and then hops in between his opponent's legs to his left, tries to get a tripod passing position here. His opponent does a good job of bringing his left leg over the top to kind of try to bring the guard back into retention, but Mighty Mouse here is now in between the legs in an over-under style passing position here. I can't really see the placement of his hands, but this is almost an over-under-ish position here, and Mighty Mouse is going to now step in between the legs, and then as his opponent tries to invert and Granby roll into a guard position, they're going to get reset into the center. So here we're going to see Mighty Mouse's opponent is going to be able to kind of lock up a triangle, and this is what I was talking about in the last match. If you're taller than your opponent, starting to shoot triangle positions from the closed guard is going to be a good way to deal with somebody who's going to be a lot shorter than you and faster than you. Lock them in that closed guard and start launching attacks from there. That was probably the only time that Mighty Mouse was in any danger in the majority of these matches here, but obviously Mighty Mouse is able to get out of that, and now he's going to start his blitzing passing once again. So I don't want to take anything away from the opponents of Mighty Mouse. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing in terms of guard retention and not conceding, but Mighty Mouse is literally just in a league of his own when it comes to stamina, endurance, body placement, and fighter mentality. He's just been competing at the highest levels at UFC and one championship that these guys that he's going against can't really give him a look that he hasn't already trained for or seen before. So here Mighty Mouse is going to start his passing once again. He's going to kind of sprawl out his legs, and his opponent's going to try to hold him in this three-quarters mount, but Mighty Mouse is going to be able to pass into side control, scoring his points with a knee cut, and then immediately hopping over to mount, scoring 7 points in a blink of an eye. And Mighty Mouse is just going to continue doing what he's been doing for all of his matches, just passing the guard at a breakneck pace where his opponent can't keep up. His opponent tries to get to turtle. Mighty Mouse is going for an armbar Kimura position here. When he loses it, he comes up on top, and now he's just going to still pass to left and right and start to take the back. He's going to score the advantage, and that's going to be the end of this match. So here we are in Mighty Mouse's fifth match, and this is going to go slightly different than the first four matches. Mighty Mouse here is going to try to go for an outside single. He's going to get stuffed, and now he's going to pull guard, and now he's going to start working from his back. Mighty Mouse has been playing so far on top, staying on top the entire time and blitzing people's guards. Now we get a chance to see he's just as fast on his back as he is on the feet, and he's able to really invert and keep that guard retention going. Just kind of, I think he just wanted to pull guard maybe to just showcase that he's good on bottom as well, because the first four matches were all on top. Now what I think his opponent should be doing is trying to get chest to chest here and really trying to stop Mighty Mouse from moving at all. Lock him down, because if you give this man any type of space, what you've seen in the first four matches is exactly what's going to happen. Here Mighty Mouse is going to try to get away from his opponent, try to turtle and try to stand back up. His opponent's got a good grip on the pants and a good grip on the collar, and he turns that into a single leg, and Mighty Mouse here is going to pull into a guard position, start to elevate his opponent, and then they're going to be reset in the center of the mat. So this was pretty much the only time that someone almost got a takedown on Mighty Mouse, and that's because he pulled. And that goes back to that philosophy of get on top, stay on top. Obviously Mighty Mouse has been beating all all of these guard pullers, and this minute he starts to guard pull, even though he's good at guard pulling and you saw his retention and his ability to get under people, once his opponent grabbed that double pant leg, it's very easy to, once the person tries to stand up, very easy to take them down to the mat. So I'm glad Mighty Mouse stayed on top and continued to get on top. Now Mighty Mouse is going to do something else later in this match that's going to be kind of a mistake that a lot of people make when they go for leg lock submissions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. But here we can see Mighty Mouse is just relentlessly attacking the back, keeping his opponent nice and flat, getting chest to chest, grabbing the forearm, making sure his opponent can't get in any type of dominant position here. And now this is the position where Mighty Mouse is going to make, in my opinion, a little bit of a mistake here. He's in a deep half position and his opponent is trying to elevate him and rock him back and forth, and he's going to try to take the leg and try to go for a leg lock here, which almost got him swept. Now listen to what his coaches say and the advice they give. That's right, his coaches are saying on top, because they want him to stay on top. If you have a leg lock from the top and you fall back, if your opponent comes up and you lose that leg lock position and don't submit them, they get 2 points. So Mighty Mouse has been dominating from the top the entire time, so it doesn't make sense for him to basically get on bottom by going for a leg lock. I've lost countless matches doing this. I've seen people lose matches doing this, trying to fall back for an ankle lock position, giving up the 2 and then losing at the end. So Mighty Mouse just goes back to his regularly scheduled programming, and that's just guard passing side to side. Here you can see that he passes into side control, solidifies the position for the points, and when his opponent tries to get up, he spins to the back, and that's the end of the match. So here we are in the finals, and up until this point, the only mistakes that, in my opinion, that Mighty Mouse has made was in his last match, the 5th match, where he pulled guard and almost he could have gotten taken down outside of the box, and then when he tried to go for a leg lock from the top, going to the bottom where he could have given up a sweep. But here Mighty Mouse is going to play exactly what he's been playing, and his opponent is doing a very good job as well, getting him into a close guard position, because that was also the only time where he almost was in danger of a triangle position, because his opponents are much more taller than he is. So when they get into a close guard, if they break his posture down, they can start to try to set up attacks from there. But Mighty Mouse is going to get chest to chest here and immediately pass into a knee cutting position here. He scores the advantage, and what he's going to do now is, now that he's in this 3/4 mount position, he's going to stay chest to chest. Once he frees his leg, he's going to score his 3 points there, and you can see he's really smothering his opponent, making sure that his opponent can't elevate him or get under him. And Mighty Mouse here is just going to try to control the feet, and the fact that his legs are so small means that he can easily weave in and out of people's guards. Here you can see him getting chest to chest again. It's the final match, so now he can really pour on the pressure onto his opponent. Again, his opponent's doing a good job trying not to keep his back to the mat, but Mighty Mouse is still going to hit these side to side passing positions, utilizing a style that, like I said earlier, is very reminiscent of Bruno Malfacine. You can see that he's sprawling his legs out so his opponent can't get any type of hooks, can't get under him, and now he's using this tripod passing position. Again, he has his opponent back flat on the mat, legs pointing the other way. This is a dominant passing position for any type of guard passer, let alone someone as skilled and legendary as Mighty Mouse. So now Mighty Mouse is just going to pour the pressure onto his opponent here with his back flat, legs pointing the other way, and that's going to allow his opponent though to get into a deep half guard position here. But the problem with the deep half guard on somebody who's significantly shorter than you is, look at Mighty Mouse's left leg. His opponent cannot get a good bite on that leg to off balance him, because Mighty Mouse is basically clearing his leg, because the leg is significantly shorter than the torso of the person who's playing the deep half. So once Mighty Mouse is able to pull his left leg just a little bit above the hip line of his opponent, he's going to be able to free that leg and start passing once again. You can see here he's able to free that leg. His opponent tries to recover the guard, and Mighty Mouse here is now going to be free to start hitting his Toreando side to side passing and start getting points here. You can see he goes for a leg drag here. His opponent does a good job of basing and turning to his side and trapping him in almost a close guard position here, but his right leg is trapped. Now, in my opinion, what I would try to go for here is a sumigaeshi. You can see that his opponent has a left hand grip of the belt or the back of the lapel or the back of the gi, excuse me, and now he can start to elevate, but Mighty Mouse does such a good job of sprawling his weight out. He knows exactly where his weight is at all times and is not going to be able to use that sumigaeshi position to kind of elevate Mighty Mouse, which would be something I would try to go for if somebody had me in a half butterfly position like Mighty Mouse just did to him. Now you can see Mighty Mouse slowing it down, now that he's in a very dominant position. Look at his opponent. His opponent's head is facing one way, back is pretty much flat to the mat, and now he's trying to desperately hold on to Mighty Mouse's leg, but Mighty Mouse is able just to kind of whip the leg around and pass into side control here, scoring his 3 points, and now he's going to really start putting it on his opponent here. You can see that he passes into a mount position, scoring 4 more points, scoring 7 points, just like he did a few matches ago in no time flat. Now his opponent is trying to get out of this position, trying to turn away, probably trying to go to the turtle position, but he's not able to do so. And then he turns into Mighty Mouse, and Mighty Mouse is going to use that turning in to get a knee cut pass on the opposite side, passing the guard once again. And now it's pretty much all she wrote for his opponent. His opponent is now trapped in this position. There's not really much he can do. Mighty Mouse tries to spin and get one of those classic Mighty Mouse arm bars. Again, his opponent's able to stop that, and now Mighty Mouse comes up on top with a hand pinned by his left shin. So now his opponent is really going to try to give it all he has, because that's pretty much going to be the end of the match if he doesn't. But Mighty Mouse is able to flatten him out once again in a half guard passing position, and this is a position that I love to pass from, where the person is flattened out in half guard and all I need to do is clear my leg and pass the guard. Mighty Mouse here, I can't really see what he's doing with his hands, but I'm assuming he's going to try to pass to his left. He gets into a passing position here by standing up, and now his opponent kind of has a butterfly hook here, but Mighty Mouse is just going to cartwheel over and really put pressure onto his opponent here, stuffing the knee in between his legs here, and now he's just going to come up into a mount position. His opponent tries to turn. That gives Mighty Mouse enough room to get to the back, and now Mighty Mouse is going to attack the back, and that's going to be the end of the match. And Mighty Mouse now wins his first ever IBJJF Masters Worlds gold medal. So let's get right into the takeaways. The major takeaway that I've been talking about for the past few videos is getting on top and staying on top. Mighty Mouse just put on a clinic on how to pass the guard from the top, chaining guard passes left and right together, and that pretty much overwhelmed the guards of the guard players. So that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for supporting the channel. It truly means more than you know. I know this one was more of a lengthy one, so make sure you're watching it. I didn't really do too many slow-mos here because that would have made the video 30 minutes long, and I didn't want to get into the weeds of the guard passing. But the major key here is that Mighty Mouse utilized getting on top and staying on top. So if you're a guard passer, this would be a good one to watch. We're going to bring some more breakdowns of the GP to the channel coming soon. So until then, peace.